leave behind me. Done played in big places like IMG. Hey, you battle tested, you ain't bad at test. Come and play against the best and from the generation next. Hey, hopping all on Facebook, not going for that flex. When a tough game get set, we do our best to try to pull up where they at. Hey, you ain't get no invite, just sitting around hanging. What you thinking? You ain't in if you ain't in them power rankings. Hey, yeah, it get lit. Hey, hotter than a sauna. Hey, try again next year, you might get a call from Jonah. Hey, but it ain't no way, you gotta come outside and play. Hey, if they can come to you, then go and play them games away. Hey, yeah, in December, that's when ain't nobody safe. Hey, think I'm just talking, I just got off live with Clay. Hey, yeah, I go crazy on that highlight, they rewind me, they come and find me, and then invite me to wine. See, I came for MVP to have a whole league behind me. Done played in big places like IMG. Hey, yeah, battle tested, you ain't bad at test. Come and play against the best and from the generation next. Hey, hopping all on Facebook, not going for that flex. When a tough game get set, we do our best to try to pull up where they at. Hey, yeah, yeah, I see. Generation next, I see. Yeah, I see. Generation next, I see. Hey, hey, yeah. Generation next, I see.
Talking all that junk, boy. They were talking all that junk. They talked that we really number one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to the last football Uncut of 2023 before the YNC. I'm Jonah Wooler with my partner in crime, Clayton Guillory. He got the ice inside the cup tonight. It's going to be cool runnings. I can promise you that. Man, happy Thanksgiving for everybody. I know we're a little bit late, but, you know, we want to give y'all a shot. Happy holidays as we get ready. And if there's a turkey on the screen, you already know what time it is, man. That means we are close to crowning a national champion. So, Clay, as we get ready to head into YNC week, man, we tweaking a couple things. We'll talk about some, you know, things that's been happening prior and leading up to the national championship week. My man, got to tell you, as doing this thing for 7 years, I feel very confident that we have fielded some of the top teams in the country from 6U to 14U that will have an opportunity to bring home a true national championship. And we can tell you what, man, after you've been crowned a YNC champion, you can go take that anywhere and stand on business that you are not probably, man, 100% the best of the best. Ain't no probably, excuse me, I don't know what I'm talking about.
That boy said,
but yeah,
stand
you
on
be the
business.
best of the best. So, Clay, man, you know, last day of November, tomorrow's December 1st, baby, it's countdown to the YNC.
That's what it is, big dog. That's what it is. Countdown to the YNC, the greatest youth football platform on the planet. And I can't wait,
In the
man.
world.
Oh man, I am so I am so excited for this year's YNC, and it's a couple reasons why, man. It's a lot of people that say they ready to make a statement. It's a lot of people that feel like some of these teams that's been untouchable for the past couple years, that they time at the top is almost over. So it'll be interesting to see how this thing plays out, Jonah. But here's the thing that I think is the most interesting about this whole situation is that the teams that we have identified, the teams that have committed to testing themselves in the most competitive, grueling, grinching platform that there is on the country, right? Um, it's just gonna be a movie, man. It's just gonna be a
Yeah.
movie. I mean, there's really no other way to explain it. The,
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready, bro. I take off Saturday morning. I'll be there before you wake up Saturday morning, Jonah. And
Yeah.
the moment I hit that South Florida sand, brother, I'm all balls to the wall, man. I'm gonna be working nonstop trying to make this a great event. I'm super excited to announce not only give people a sneak preview of what a real national championship award looks like, right? We're gonna do that tonight. So tag
Tonight,
your people, comment, make sure they in here. I'm finna show you
tap
like
in,
when you
tap in.
truly the best of the best, when you truly the best at what you do, how you should be rewarded. Remember, man, it's the little things that make the YNC the YNC. How you should be rewarded. And I'm also very excited to announce tonight a new added award that we're going to give to our returning national champions that won in the YNC last year. When they touch down on Monday for certification, I got something for them that's finna make everybody say, ooh, we y'all. So, man, if your people not on this live, man, they need to be on here because it's about to go down tonight. But before we get to all that, Jonah, let's talk about the tea, baby. Let's talk
Yeah.
about the tea.
Yes, sir. Well,
You
look,
ready
we
for it?
start with the
Hold, hold,
babies.
hold,
We
hold on.
start
Hold on, Jonah. You ready for it? How about them Borton Beach Bulldogs?
Clay.
I'm just
Why would
asking, bro. You in Florida? Tell me what's going
why would you bring them up out of all the
down.
teams?
Why? Why? I'm just wondering, bro. How about them Borton Beach Bulldogs, man?
Well, I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna stand on this business here, bro. Let's just review. And again, and this is no slight at nobody. This is no slight at anybody. But Clay, being involved in the YNC sharpens iron. So what Boynton Beach did earlier that year, they took on the YNC defending champs in South Carolina, right? They took on the Rare Breeds. They ain't run from it. They ain't get on the internet and talk about, oh, we're gonna see you next year, we're gonna see you next month. They took and got that exercise, right? So and then they went out, played a lot of other national tanks. And so what it did, Clay, is had them battle tested for four
Ooh,
quarters of football, right?
come on now.
So when you got that YNC running through your DNA, I know that's a lot of initials, YNC, DNA, right? You're going to play four quarters of football, right?
Yes, sir.
And so I
Yes,
don't care
sir.
where you coming from. You can come from the east, you can come from the west, you can come from the south, come from the north. When you line it up against YNC DNA, well, you got to get ready for four quarters of football, man. So I won't mention teams, whatever. You can't win and lose games on the internet about we gonna play y'all or we ain't gonna play y'all. Start hitting us up, leave us alone. We ain't gonna play. Well, it's not really necessary to go play anybody right now because clearly, the
As the
YNC
eye can see.
12U championship runs through Wellington any which way you cut it. Anybody in the top five in 12U has lost to a YNC team. It is what it is. And if you want to be top dog at 12U, there's only three initials, which is YNC. Anything else beside that is uncivilized. It's uncivilized.
Jonah, I'm gonna tell you this, brother.
I'm listening.
I was simply minding my business.
Right?
Matter of fact, Jonah, if my memory serves me correctly, I had did a turn and burn. I landed that morning, that Thursday morning. Was it Thursday or Friday? It was Friday, wasn't it?
It was
I landed that Friday morning. I forget which day it was. I landed that morning, landed down in sunny South Florida, was tending to some YNC business, and said, man, I need to go back same day. So I caught the red eye out of South Florida. And as I'm going through the
right.
terminal, going through security check. Lady asked me why I got all this YNC ice on, right? I said, ma'am, because I represent the best, right? So after I said that, I happened to look at my watch, Joni. You know the Apple Watch give you the little vibrate. I looked at my
Right,
watch
right, right.
and it said breaking news. So I pulled out my phone. And when I pulled out my phone, Jonah, I seen that the
Yeah,
Borton Beach Bulldogs had established themselves as the number one 12U football team in Florida. And I said, well, what do
yeah.
we have here? So as
Well, and
I
Clay,
board my plane, Jonah, and you know how you
yeah,
sitting down on the plane and they giving you all the instructions and they telling you can't be on your phone no more. The lady had to tell
right,
me get
right.
off my phone because I'm reading the comments and I'm like, you got to be shitting me. You got to be shitting me, man.
Well, and the only dispute that they may not be the best team in Florida might be the Tampa Jacks. But guess where they playing, Clay? Well, guess where the Tampa
YNC.
YNC? So, that's the only thing we got to figure out who's truly the best in Florida. We'll figure that all out this coming week. But at the end of the day, man, congratulations to those boys at Boynton. Did a great job, man. They had a great weekend. They won their league championship. Then after the league championship, they played in something called King of the South. Would match them up against the FYFL's champion. They won that as well. So they're riding a high right now going into the national championships. And so will they be able to continue that high playing against the number one team in the country? We'll find that out. But, man, it's going to be a lot of football. Everybody think it's just going to be a 2 or 3 team show up in that bracket, but we'll talk about that bracket tonight. And
And we're gonna take a
and it's
look at
so
these teams.
yeah,
Go ahead.
and it's so funny, Clay. I just sit back. We've been doing this so long. We let a lot of people do all the talking. A lot of it's a lot of a lot of rocks being thrown at glass houses because when it's time to post those brackets, you know, and
Jonah.
I
One
and
one
and
thing
you
one thing I've learned, brother. One thing I've learned.
stay humble.
As you always say, the football gods don't lie. And one thing I learned in this year is another year that I learned this same tale.
Yeah,
It all comes together like ass cheeks, my man. It all comes together like ass cheeks, even when you don't expect it. Now, it
right.
might be a shitty smelling situation, but it comes together like ass cheeks, brother.
So look, man, some interesting stuff, Clay. Hey, man, since we're talking about teams, bro, what's going on in Texas? SED team breaking up right before the national championship. Fill us in, man. You the Texas guru. You can let us know what's going on because we had them slated
All
to
right.
play football. What the hell happened
So
right before the
listen,
national championship?
listen, man. So we talking about SED 6U right now. I don't want there to be
Yeah,
any misconception. SED 9U is locked in. They down there to challenge Voodoo and Crescent City and RDU for a national championship, right? But SED 6U, I can't tell you what happened internally, but here's what I can tell you. They accepted their invitation. They submitted their player verification roster. They had all of their Zorts players and coaches in the system. They had their registration fee paid on time. Nothing in this entire process had me suspect that SED 6U was not going to be part of the YNC. And then I get a phone call that says, Coach Clayton, we don't think we're going to be able to be a part of this. So actually, I'm lying, Jonah. I'm lying. Before I got that phone call, I saw it on social media first. So I immediately hit my
mm,
two dudes at CD. I hit up Street. And Street was busy. So then Coach Phil, he said, Clayton, man, I was just about to text you. I said, well, what's going on? And he explained to me that I guess when they do their check, the president was doing the check with all the parents, making sure that everybody was locked in, had their travel arrangements. A lot of the parents
yeah.
wasn't replying. A lot of the parents
Wow.
was ghosting them. So I was like, damn. So he was like, man, they only had 10 to 11 kids that was fully committed with everything paid for.
Wow.
And they said, man, if we're going to try to win the YNC, we're not going to be able to do it with that. So Street hit me back. And Street said, Clayton, before you pull the team, give me about 4 hours, man. Let me see if I can make something work. Me and another coach, we done worked with the 6U team before. Let us talk to some parents, see if maybe we can take some of the kids with us and we can make it work. So later that night, the president called me, and he said, "Clayton, man, we're not gonna be able to make it work." He explained the same situation to me that Coach Field had
Yeah.
explained, and I told him, I said, "Listen, bro, Street told me he was gonna try to work on it, so I'm gonna wait to hear back from Street." Then the next morning, Street called me and said he's not gonna be able to make it work. So as for what happened internally, I can't tell you that. But the
Yeah.
thing that is
Yeah.
mind-boggling to me is how a team accepts an invitation over a month and a half ago, handle all their administrative and financial responsibilities, and the parents drop the ball on it, man. I just don't understand that, bro.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah. And not
But
only that,
hey,
Clay,
it is what it is.
if you watch
It
that
is what
team,
it is.
man, they really have potential. They really have potential to challenge for the top spot, man, to really just make it deep into those to the playoffs. So, hey, man, hey, good luck to them. But we still got to run the show, man. 6U gonna be live. 6U's gonna be crazy. 7U, I'm excited about 7U. 8U gonna be bananas. Who will challenge
Yeah,
Voodoo at 9U? Who will challenge? And listen, 10U, don't sleep. Of course, the favorites are the Eagles. You know, and you know, we addressed this and we won't address it anymore, because I feel if you really want it, you're gonna be where you're supposed to be. But does it come back down to Rare City and Georgia Eagles at the 10U, or will there be a team that can surprise them, you know, coming into the national championship? So that's gonna be the thing. And then everybody's just saying the national championship, when we'll start breaking these things down, it's gonna be between Lambeau and Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes want to prove to the world that they deserve here to be there, you know, after getting dethroned years ago at 8U and at IMG. And I won't say dethroned, but, you know, just from an opportunity, they got a touchdown call back on the last play of the game, Clay, when we were at IMG. So they feel they deserve to be here, man. So it's going to be crazy.
yeah.
But so we'll start breaking down what teams, what matchups, what's the dream matchups you want to see. Because there's going to be a lot of things going on. And then since we're going to talk about, Clay, teams not finishing at the finish line, another team at 13 and under, Tampa Irish, happened with them.
So you may have a little bit more intel on this from what I have. I talked to the head coach, and he said, "Clayton, we're going to have to pull ourselves again. This is another team that had handled all their obligations, turned in all their stuff, was loaded in Zords, paid their money on time. They was ready to go." And he says that his starting quarterback got hurt. Now, type of coach that I am, or type of coach, you know, I say next man up. Is he our starter? No, but we're going to still try to run for this national championship with it. But, you know, everybody's a little bit different. They starting quarterback got hurt. Something happened with it at school or in middle school or something. I'm not sure. I don't know all the details. But they say he got hurt, man, and they decided not to go that route. Now, it sucks because we had 10 what I feel like very, very dynamic teams.
Right.
And it was going to make it interesting because if we being truthful, out of that 10, 7 of them all have beat each other in some shape, form, or fashion. So you really wouldn't
Right.
going to be able to pinpoint how it all works out. But now, you still got a goddamn dynamic bracket, man. This shit going to be crazy, man. This shit going to be crazy. Hey, brother, why are you calling me? You know I'm on the live with Jonah. Damn, that's how I got to do people these days. So
So
I'm
yeah,
just saying,
13
though,
U
man.
13 U is gonna be bananas, man. That is truly an age group, and they know it. Of course, West Orlando Jags, the number one ranked team going into this right now. But as you said, the West Orlando Jags have taken losses to teams, and even a team that just fell out of it. So you know, what team will you get come game day?
You,
You
you
know, coming off the plane.
You know what? We're gonna go through every age level, folks. So don't think we're skipping over anybody. But Jonah asked a question, and I thought hard about it, and I'm gonna tell you. You know what age level, what game I want to see, and I don't know if they gonna be on opposite sides of the bracket, so it could be a potential national championship game, or if they're gonna be on the same side of the bracket and it's a first round or semifinal game, right? I want to see the new and improved OG Ducks versus TMT. I
Woo,
think that's gonna be a good game, bro. I
woo,
think that's gonna be a good game.
woo,
I think this is gonna be a good game.
man.
And if and the second one that just jumps out on me, I really would like to see, and you're gonna say I'm crazy for saying this, Voodoo and Crescent City again. Because you got to remember, when they played on Halloween weekend, it was 0-0 at halftime. And that's the closest
Right.
anybody's ever been to Voodoo.
Right. So, and we're gonna talk about the teams, but man, you know what I was really excited to see, man, and I don't know, it just recently changed because they had a recent loss. I was excited for Atlanta Elite 11U to get back in with Lambeau because they played them so close. But then Atlanta Elite just took a loss to ABA, and I'm like, man, this is just what I'm telling. And I like it in a sense, Clay, because I like coming into YNC not feeling that, oh, I know this team is going to dominate from beginning to end. I want to see some competitive football. So it shakes up 11U completely all the way going up to these things. So here's what we got for these people, Clay. Let's just show them how we really run at YNC. Clay, why don't we get the crowd's opinion of a matchup they would love to see at an age group, and let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, Clay. You know, let's get aside. I don't care if it's 9U, 10U. One game, they get one matchup. The
All right.
people's choice
All
matchup.
right.
Let's see if we can make that happen, bro. What matchup do
So
y'all want to
here's what we're
see?
gonna do.
Yeah,
Here's what we're gonna do, right? As you guys know, I never release the brackets until after the mandatory coaches meeting after certification, right? A lot of
right.
people ask why you do that. Number one, if I release it beforehand, you coaches get drunk, y'all don't come to the coaches meeting, and then you don't know none of the information for the event, and it makes the event run just
Crazy.
unorganized. Second thing
Right,
is, what happens if a team don't show up? What happens if a
right.
team don't certify? I have the ability to adjust the bracket beforehand instead of you show up to the venue. Maybe you got an early morning game, 9 in the morning, and then the other team don't show up. Now you mad at me, right? Here's the thing, man. The bracket is not coming out until after certification. Anybody that's been
Right.
part of the YNC since IMG knows that that's how we do it, right? Now,
Correct.
here's what we're gonna do though. Like Jonah just said, put in the matchup you want to see the most. I'm gonna go back through the comments when the
Right.
show is over. Whichever matchup on that age level, so not every age level, just one matchup. Whichever matchup is commented the most, that means as many people say they want to see it, they want to see it, they want to see it. I'm gonna make it happen first
Yeah.
round.
You want to know what my
I'm gonna
matchup
make
would
it happen
be?
first round.
Just because they didn't make it happen in their own city, Clay? My matchup would be 7U, GEA, Atlanta Elite, off the plane.
Just like that.
Oh yeah,
Just
listen, we
like
ain't
that.
even get to the field. Let's do it at Fort Lauderdale Airport parking lot. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
We don't
yeah,
got to come to
yeah.
the field. You know what I'm saying? Get in the parking lot. Let's line it up. It's a lot of grass out there on the tarmac. I know the plane's gonna be looking downstairs, seeing some football been going on. Let's not even get to the YNC facility, Fort Lauderdale Airport. Let's get it in GEA, Atlanta Elite. And then the team that
Hey,
lose, you don't even come to YNC. You get back on the plane that you played
yep.
on the tarmac, and you hit it back to the crib. And
Go
another
right there
one
to customer
represents
service.
Florida.
Hey,
Yeah.
just go right there to customer service and say, listen, we really
However you
don't want
flew
the
in,
smoke. We thought
Spirit,
we did.
Frontier, what?
We listen, do you have a flight? Maybe we can head up to the Wilmington. The Wilmington is
Right,
headed up in North Florida. Can we go there? Right?
right.
Maybe that's something that we could do.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I mean,
Jonah.
I used
Check
to
this out.
love those wrestling matches with them stipulations. Like, oh, if you beat me, I got to retire from WWE. I can't even wrestle no more. Nigga, I beat you. You can't coach no more. It's over. Your coach, give me your whistle. Give
Ah,
me your whistle, man. Give me your whistle. Next time I see you, we're going to see you coaching tennis.
so listen, let's get the show started, Jonah. So listen, AG,
All
before
right,
we
let's do
start
it.
breaking down these age groups, man, let's put up, for those of you that have never been part of the YNC before, we're going to put up where we play our bracket play games at on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which is the Village Park Athletic Complex in Wellington, Florida. I can kind of walk you guys through what this thing looks like, and then that way everybody knows where we at. So when we play our games, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all of the bracket play games and consolation championship games will be in this particular complex right here. Only the national championship games will make themselves to Wellington High School, right? But as you can see, and we're going to start from the bottom. As you can see, the back two fields, when you walk into the complex, the back two fields are going to be field 3 and field 2. And then the first two fields that you come to are going to be field 1 and field 4. Just north of the four field, what they call that, Jonah, a quipod? I don't know. I'm sipping, but just a little bit north of the four field complex, you will see the two warm up areas. These are grass areas. Both areas are roughly about 80 yards worth of football space where you can warm up with your team and get ready. Again, a little bit further north of that is the YNC entrance. This is the only location that you will be able to enter into the complex as well as exit the complex. And then as you can see from that entry there towards the right will be the certification area. Now, everyone needs to try to certify at specified certification on Monday, but sometimes a whole team may certify, but they may have one or two players that come in late, or maybe you got a coach that had to work and he's coming in late. Those one or two players or coaches will be able to certify in this specific area at the complex before they enter the venue. Now, the main parking lot, as you can see, is a little bit north of that, and then if you look northwest of that, you see the overflow parking lot, which is north of the softball and baseball fields. Now, let's talk about practice field A and practice field B, as you can see, which is north of the primary parking lot. These two practice fields are for warm-ups. If anybody wants to practice on their off day, right? These are the two fields that you must use. Remember, the word I said here is must use. All right. Now, somebody asked me, Coach Clayton, does those fields have lights? These fields have lights. So as long as the lights are on at the YNC and we are playing games, those lights will be on. If you want to come in for a late practice on your off day, you can do that. But the only downfall for it is when we're done playing and our field lights go off, those lights will go off. Outside of these two practice fields and the two warm-up areas, there are no other fields in the complex that you are permitted to warm up on, stretch on, walk through on, jog on, take a shit on, or piss on. None of that. All right? Guys, please, please, please be mindful and pay close attention to this, because year after year, I get a call from the police and I have to go over there on my golf cart and ask a coach nicely to, maybe move his warm up to the appropriate field. So again, we've got this venue map in place so you guys know exactly where you can and cannot warm up or practice, and so on and so on. So this one should be pretty easy. It's self-explanatory, and there it is. Now, once you enter the facility, the YNC has a very strict clear bag policy for everyone. Everyone. Some of us are more visual learners, so we're gonna go ahead and put the visual aid up for you guys when we're talking about the clear bag policy. Approved clear bags are to your left, looking at the screen. Prohibited, and for those of you that aren't very good with vocabulary, that means not allowed, bags are to the right. Any bag that is brought in by anyone except for YNC employees or referees must be a clear bag. All right. So unless you have on one of the neon YNC staff shirts, or you got on your stripes and you are an official paid YNC referee, because some of these moms, they'll come up there in a referee outfit and swear that they calling the game, right? It has
Tights
to be a
in a
clear
ref
bag policy.
top.
Clear. Yeah. Clear backpack, clear duffel bag, clear handbag. Now, if you don't have a clear bag, like I said, go to the sporting goods store, and you can get one of those mesh equipment bags or one of those mesh football bags for your stuff. And they only like $5 or $6. They're not very expensive. All other bags will be prohibited. Media people, pay attention to this. Media people, I get it.
Lord.
Your media equipment is very, very, very expensive. The only media that will be allowed in without clear bags is YNC media. So if you have an approved media ban, you still must follow the clear bag policy. So please be mindful of that. I get it. Your equipment and your craft is very expensive and you care a lot about this stuff, but you're going to have to do it in the clear bag policy, or we need everyone to be safe. Remember, canopies and chairs can be brought into the venue. They must be brought in by hand, and they cannot have a bag around them. And there are no wagons allowed in the venue. I repeat, no wagons allowed in the venue. You can bring team coolers, and our staff will search the team coolers, but those team coolers can only have water, sports drinks, and fruit. No other snack, no candy bars, no Jello pudding pops, none of that. Only
No
water,
Hennessy.
sports drinks, and fruit and please don't soak the fruit in alcohol, y'all. Please don't soak the fruit in alcohol. My people, we would do anything
Oh
we can.
man.
Anything we can. Yeah, Jonah, I had to say it because we'll do anything we can, right? So again,
Oh.
also remember, water and ice will be provided on the sideline by the YNC for the teams. You are responsible for bringing your own water squirt bottles to fill up and disperse water to your kids, right? And if you want to bring your additional water for your team or sports drinks in that water cooler, by all means, we recommend that you do, because sometimes, even though with our staff working hard, they're not able to get the water to you guys as fast as you would like it. All right. So hopefully that gets everything situated, and boom, everybody understands that. And we can get started on these teams, Jonah. But if it's okay with you, Jonah, I'd like to take a sip of my yak here and then talk about something new that we got coming. Is that okay with you?
I think you just killed everybody with they had Don Julio oranges lined up already, man. Poke a little hole in
All
the top of
right.
the orange, fill it up with Don Julio, and then you see all these coaches on the sideline just eating oranges all day. You done killed
Hey,
the 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 frozen
My man
fruit
say
vibe.
Hennessy is a sports drink. My man say Hennessy is a sports drink. It's not a horse. It's not a sports drink, dog.
Oh man,
It's
but I've
not a
been catching
sports
some of
drink.
these dream matchups, and I ain't gonna front. I mean, even from the babies, man, and we're gonna start breaking it down. We could talk about some of these things, and we can jump right into 6U. And I see one of those matchups they really want to see: it's Bessemer and True Motion at the 6 and under. Let's bring up on the screen, Clay. Let's look at the
Hold on,
six and
Jonah.
under.
Hold on, Jonah.
Okay,
Hold
talk to me.
on.
Okay,
Hold
okay,
on.
okay. Hold on.
I'd like to make an announcement before you bring up the 6U.
Oh
I'd
boy.
like to make an announcement. So, all returning national champions from
Yes,
Division
sir.
One last year to the YNC this year, I felt like, man, we needed to do something a little bit special for these teams. And the
Right.
reason I'm just now making the announcement is it took myself and Battle and Generation Next and AG Sports a little bit of time to make this thing work, but we were able to put it together. So if you were a returning Division One national champion from last year, which would
Champion.
be
Correct.
Bessemer 7U, Bessemer 8U, that would be Voodoo 9U, that would be Georgia Eagles 10U, Lambeau 11U, Rare Breeds 12U, six of them. Now, make sure I didn't miss anybody.
You good?
If you are returning Division One national champion, everybody knows that certification is on Monday. Tomorrow, we'll be reaching out to each team's head coach. What we have decided is that either before or after your certification on Monday, we're going to take you to Dick's and give your entire team a battle shopping spree so you can be swagged out at the YNC. So here's what I'm telling y'all, man. You're going to take the entire team to the specified Dick's Sporting Goods. You're going to check in at the battle tent at the Dick's Sporting Goods. You're going to fill out the roster of your whole team and coaches. Then we're going to take you inside the Dick's. We're going to take you to the battle section. We're going to tell you, get what you want. And then we're going to go to the counter and pay for it right then and there. Because we want to make
Take
sure
what your mama gave you.
our national champions look better than anybody else's national champions on the planet. So I just
But
wanted
they
to
don't
make
want to
that
hear that.
announcement, Jonah.
They don't want to
I
hear
just
that,
wanted to
Clay.
make that announcement.
They don't want to hear that.
So
You know, the other place has more
my bad,
structure
bro. I'm sorry.
because you can play regionals and you can play state. You should knock off your state champion and who wants to go to YNC? Yeah, we get on. We love it. We gonna be out there doing it at Dick Sporting Goods. We is who he is.
Hey, now here are the rules. Tell your kids that it has to be in the
Oh,
Dick's store. They can't order it online. It
right.
has to be a battle product, right?
Correct.
And they're gonna take it in the store together. We're gonna take it to the front counter. We're gonna pay for it, and then them babies gonna wear it day one of the YNC. Come on,
You
man.
already know.
This is how we get
You already
down, Jonah.
you already know. But it's easy to say it's about them babies till it's about them babies. You see what I'm saying? So man, super excited about that. This week is gonna be a party. Uh man, everything's gonna be into the Wellington area. The beach is still available. Of course, Friday, there'll be no football on Friday, Clay. That's gonna be
No.
media day. No football on
Yep.
Friday. So, y'all parents, y'all want to hang out on Thursday nights. Y'all don't have to worry about getting up early unless you are the champions. Then you got media day. We're going to be doing it just like ESPN. We're going to line up both teams up. Cameras going to be lined up. We're going to have media day and let those babies get their shine. Get your best speakers out. Let the coaches get in their little apparel. Parents, y'all have a little room to go ahead into. And we're gonna make it a whole movie. It's just not about football. You're gonna have your shopping spree, you're gonna have your media day, you're gonna have your check-ins, you're gonna have the best competition football. And Clay, hold on. Since we swagging, right? Because I don't want some people to get off and they might miss this after we talk about their age group. There's a certain black box floating around in the area, Clay. A certain black box in the air. Since we just talk about getting
Are you
swagged
talking
out.
about this black box, Jonah?
I think I am.
Are
I
you talking
think I
about
am.
this one right here,
I
brother?
think I am, Clay. It's not
Look
the
how
usual here.
look how the light hit up. Look how the light hit off that gold ball.
It's a
You see
sexy
that?
box. I'm not gonna front.
So listen, Jonah. Here's one thing I want people to understand.
Talk to
When
me.
you a YNC national champion, when
Come
you
on.
truly the best, when you
Yes.
in an era where people like to copy your style and your swag,
Preach.
everything from the drawers you wear to the crystal ball that's on your trophy,
Well,
right?
yes.
You've got to do some things to set yourself apart. Every
This is
year you
true.
got to raise the level. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Every year. And this year, here's how we do it. Now I want you to watch this, Jonah. I want you to watch this thing here.
I'm looking. My eyes ain't
Every
gonna. I'm not gonna blink.
national champion, every national champion now. Come on. Let me go and turn this thing around for y'all
Hold on. You
real
gotta. Yeah.
nice like.
You gotta make it look sexy
Let
before
me
we
make
get
let me
down.
make sure it's set up real nice like for him.
Clean
I want to
yourself
make sure it's
up.
set up nice for him, Jonah. I want him to see
Right.
it
Clean
just like
yourself
it's
up.
supposed to be seen.
Right. Right.
I want to see it. Just understand this. When you open this thing up, just know this. The best play here. And
Yes,
when you're the
sir.
best, Jonah, this is what your championship package looks like, baby. This is what your championship package looks like right here
Already.
in
Key
your
to the
box.
city. Rose gold out.
Oh
Rose
yeah.
gold out. Pull that
Oh
ring out
yeah,
of there real
baby.
quick, Clay. Let me see the side of that
Hey,
ring. Pull that ring
hey,
out of there.
that ring's so fat, Jonah. It's so fat. You
Let me
can't
see
just
some
grab it with
detail.
your fingers and pull that thing out. Look, you got to get a stick and dig that thing out. It's so fat. You see how far that ring is, man? You got to dig in there to pull that thing out, man. That thing is
It
so
done
thick,
broke the
man.
stick. It
It
done
done
broke
broke
the
the
stick.
stick. It's
Oh,
so thick.
oh, Lord.
It done broke the stick. And then when that thing come out, Jonah, look how it just keep
Yeah.
rising. That thing thick, boy. Ooh,
Oh,
y'all.
man.
Hey, man. So, like I said,
But you know what,
it's the
Clay?
little things
Clay.
that make the
Clay.
wine see, baby.
It,
And this is
Clay,
it right
it's a
here.
sad, Clay, as much as I want to celebrate with you, Clay, it's a sad day in some parts of the country though, man. Because when they do win their particular championship and their parents crowd around the little table and they get ready to do the presentation, the parents gonna be like, "Ain't this some shit? What a coach? Why coach got us? Why we in Panama Poppy? What happened?"
Oh, come on, man. Don't do the Wimbledon like that.
Oh my! You know what? Please don't sue us. I'm sorry, my man. Okay, because I saw they. Let me. Hey, so I'm focused, man. Let's get. Hey, Clay, it's getting late, man. It's 10:45. We got to talk about these teams, man. These people don't want to hear
All
about
right.
what
I'm
these
sorry.
kids
I'm
did.
sorry, brother. I'm
All right,
sorry.
come on, man. Let's
Well,
go. Let's take off.
all right, go ahead, starting with the 6U, Jonah. You got it.
Yeah. We can't even take no commercial breaks right now. Hey, let me back to DJ Alfred in the back, A to the ones to the twos. Let's take off with that 6 U's. You know what I'm saying? What we looking like? Okay. Boom. So Northeast Rattlers out of mid-Florida. Tough team. Dark horse. People pay attention to this team. A lot of people saying Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes might run away with this championship at 6U. They feel they're the best team out of Florida. We'll see. Duval, we already know what Duval brings to the table. And Twin City
Already.
Outlaws, the little brothers to the Rare City, trying to make it so happen. But listen, out of Alabama, True Motion, the best team out of there. People doubt them. We ranked them up at number 2, and would they be able to hold out? Well, yeah, they beat everybody that came in front of them. Big Bessemer, we already know what they bring to the table. And then the top-ranked team in the country, Georgia Elite Athletics. Listen, there's no fluff in this at all. This is a team. These are the teams that really have to fight to get to this national championship. So, no, we don't want to load it down with 15 teams this year, Clay. We don't want to load it down with 22 teams. We want to get straight to the point and let these teams bang it out and then walk away with your jewelry. And listen, we live streaming. We going in. These babies going to get their vibe. The Battle Boys will be on the football field doing our clips, doing our replays, Twitter, our partners over at Under the Radar. It's just going to be a straight movie clip from the time these babies get to the field to the times they win in their championship. So, look, cameras will be rolling the entire weekend because we believe in that social media footprint for all these babies. But, yeah, Clay, so when you're doing this presentation, they get in the box. You don't even have to put the chains around their neck, put the rings on. No,
None
you
of
get in
that.
the black box off deck. Black box. So, Clay, out of these teams, your dream matchup, if it was a Clay championship off rip coming out of day one, tell me the 2 teams you would love to see and why.
I would like to see Bessemer and True Motion. And here's why. Both from the same state, and unless my memory has served me wrong, I don't think they have faced each other. Now,
Correct.
the GEA True Motion matchup does look very enticing, but on this level right here, I think it's nothing like a good old-fashioned home rivalry to really get them YNC juices flowing right out the gate. So that's just me.
I want to talk about 2 teams nobody's talking about. Well, everyone is talking about True Motion, so I'll change that. I would love to see True Motion come out the gate against Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. Hurricanes with a lot of speed. They didn't get the national pub because they didn't get on the national road. But I can tell you, I know this team personally. I've seen them in Florida. Loaded with 4 running backs that's going to give you hell every single play. This is a load. I don't care if you go. And let me just say this, Clay. People have misconstrued quality youth football with quantity of names. I'm going to say that one more time. People have misconstrued quality youth football with quantity of teams. They judge tournaments by, hey, man, that's deep. They got 14 teams. That's a real youth national championship. 14 teams means we need y'all to stay a little bit longer. Instead of coming in on Monday, y'all come in on that Saturday before, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just so we can get y'all to pay some more hotel rooms, pay some more admission fees during the gate to still figure out who's the best top teams. We don't need fluff. We don't need to play no games with y'all money. So don't let no people fool you because they got 15 teams in the bracket. These are the top teams in the country. They got to play for it. Bottom line.
So here's the thing, man. And you said it, the dark horse that a lot of people don't realize is the Northeast Rattlers. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I don't know who they get first round, but whoever they get first round, they are going to upset them because nobody is going to suspect them at all. They are going to upset them, and it's going to be something that everybody going to be saying, man, where did they get these guys from?
Yeah, I agree. So dark horse, we both can agree in this age group is Northeast Rattlers. Matchups you would like to see, True Motion versus Bessemer. I would like to see True Motion against Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. And then I want to see if Georgia Elite Athletics can go wire to wire as the number 1 team at 6U. Can they close out the deal? Do they have the endurance to play those 3 perfect games against top-notch, top-tier competition? Because here's the thing about it, Clay. in regular youth football, you get to play a top competition on Saturday. You get banged up, bruised up. You got a week to recover before you get onto the field again. You got to heal your injuries
Yes.
up. Your
Yes.
baby's getting their mind right. Man, this on that Monday, you check in. You're gonna see all these teams around you. Tuesday, boom, you take off with probably one of the most competitive games you played all year. Is gonna happen this Tuesday. Then guess what? If you're fortunate enough to win, you got to get up the next morning and repeat again. And then if you're fortunate enough to win that game, you got to get ready for the big crowd in the stadium and play your best football mentally and physically, depending on how tired you are, who got injured, who didn't get injured. Did the team moms bring enough fruit? Did the kids go ahead and bring their home? It's a lot of different things going on that week, that's especially at this age group, Clay, which will determine who's going to be a national champion.
AG, let's don't stop it here, man, because I'm going to tell you, I got one more day in Texas before I'm in sunny South Florida, and I still got a lot of packing and stuff to do tonight and make sure everything is in line. Let's go and roll with 7U, man. So now, 7U, true 18 bracket.
Yeah,
Now, you got a lot of different teams on here, but the thing I want to point out to people is you got Texas, you got Georgia, you got Florida, you've got Alabama. I'm willing to bet you take this 7U bracket and place it against any other 7U bracket in the country, and nobody pulls off more wins than this bracket right here. We're talking about the Oak Cliff Titans, a team that came to the YNC last year, got a
yeah.
taste for it, and coach said, I'm going to go back and retool, and now he's back for year 2. Atlanta Elite, the number one 7U team in the country right now. And the question is, will they end the YNC as the number one team in the country? Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, a team that lost in their FYFL championship in overtime by 1 point to the Pompano Chiefs, but Pompano decided to go a different route. And the Canes said, we want all the smoke. GEA, the number 2 7U team in the country, and at one point, I can't remember, John, did we have them in number 1 at one point, or did it kind of go back and forth? Any way you slice it, Atlanta Elite and GEA hadn't played each other. Could it happen this weekend? Could it not? Now, TNS Cougars, the most dominant 7U from the state of Texas. And Coach Zimmy has been to the YNC before, made it to the national championship with an older age group, and got runner-up when he faced Lambeau. But I believe he learned everything he needed to learn when he retooled with this team right here. Duval Jaguars. And you got to say it like that, Jonah, when you talk about Duval. You got to get big Duval, man. Duval Jaguars coming back representing, and they say they want all the smoke. Adamsville Tigers. Now, Adamsville is a team that I'm going to be honest with you, Jonah. When the preseason started, I knew nothing about them. When the preseason was over with, you can't mention 7U without talking about the Adamsville Tigers. So I do believe that they got a shot, at hoisting that crystal ball at the end of the day. And then the Bessemer Tigers, the defending YNC national champions, who a lot of people wrote off. And they done fought and clawed their way not only back into the YNC, but they done fought and clawed their way back into their shopping spree at Dick's. So, with that being said, Jonah, I'm going to give you the same question. If it's the Jonah Willett extravaganza, what's the first round matchup you want to see?
Unequivocally, I want to see Adamsville play Georgia Elite Athletics out of the gate. Because Adamsville's knocked
Right out
off
the gate.
Bessemer Tigers. And listen, Bessemer Tigers, this hasn't been their best year. They lost some of their top quality players. They're coming in limping. They are a wounded champ. Yes, they are. They're not the team. So they round out this 7U. And a lot of people felt that Bessemer shouldn't be able to defend their national championship. I always feel this way, Clay. If you win a championship, you're competitive, come out there because they know how to win in those quality back-to-back games. As a matter of fact, there's no team on this entire list who's done what they've done last year, and that's win 3 quality games at the YNC. So you can say what you want to say about Bessemer. You haven't achieved what they have. You got some regular season wins. You won some preseason games, so it's easy to stick your chest out. But I don't see you hoisting a crystal ball that has the YNC logo on it. So until then, Bessemer Tigers are in there, and you got to beat them. Adamsville Tigers, Clay, are playing the best football at this time of the year. They're gelling. They're playing solid defense.
Yeah.
And people laughed at me earlier this year because Adams Tigers, I said they had one of the best defense, and they happened to lose that week that I picked them to win. So everybody wrote them off. But then they came back. They knock off Bessemer Tigers. GEA has been running a little step lower. We saw them early in the preseason, South Carolina. GEA took on Bessemer Tigers and lost to Bessemer Tigers that weekend. The Bessemer Tiger was
That's
healthy,
true.
and GA said, "Well, listen, we had a lot of back-to-back games. We were tired, we were fatigued. But as you can see how the season progresses, you know which team pays the best. Now, the top of the hill right now, you got to say Atlanta Elite playing the best football. Atlanta Elite is playing the best football at 7U. They're the clear favorite. But if I want to see a matchup right now that I think is going to dictate how this whole particular bracket goes, Adamsville Tigers, Georgia Elite Athletes, game one. I think it'll be a movie.
That would be a dope first round game. I'm not gonna lie to you, Jonah. That would be a dope first round game. If it was me, the matchup that I would like to see, I would like to see Atlanta Elite and Duval Jaguars out the gate. Here's why. Here's why I say it, Jonah. Duval has so much speed, and Atlanta Elite. This Atlanta Elite team is built on how well their bigs play. Their front five on the offensive line and their front 4 or 5 on the defensive line determines how strong Atlanta Elite's going to be. When they came down to the Houston preseason YNC, they dominated up front, and that's why they were crowned the champions. You know as well as I know, at 7U, a lot of times having a dominant defensive lineman is no match when you got a speed demon in the backfield. It'll be interesting to me to see if the Duval Jaguars are able to use their speed to upset the number 1 7U team in the country. So it'll be
And look,
interesting,
man,
man.
I
We'll see
see a
how
lot
this
of
whole thing
comments.
shake out.
I see a lot of comments. A lot of people don't want to play game one. They don't want to jump out the gate like that, Clay. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Man, you coming down to Florida. You playing, the kids coming to play football. The parents coming to vibe. The coaches coming to vibe and coach a little football, right? You kill their vibe if they lose day one. Here's the thing about it. In these 18 brackets, 4 teams going to be in their feelings, Clay. And they ain't going to
Oh,
want to
yeah.
go to the club. They ain't going to the hookah lounge. They shopping
Hey,
sprees
hey,
dead.
Jonah. And while people talking about put them in the box, they won't get a box. They won't get a
They
box
won't get
that
a
way.
box.
They won't
Man.
get a box. Only the best play here, baby. Only the best play
And
here.
let's keep this 100 because Clay, we are part of this space. I mean, arguably, Clay, you and I probably, as in when it comes to youth football, probably our two faces are probably synonymous with youth football in the country. So we see it all the way around. It's these people take this serious. Clay,
Real
there will be
serious.
some
Real
devastated
serious.
grown men and some devastated grown women come Tuesday morning or Tuesday evening. And it's the harsh reality of it because everybody comes into this optimistic. They shooting for a national championship, and them 4 quarters of football. When you see your baby's dreams kind of just fade for that year, it's tough. It's tough. So, man, we just tell you, coaches, get y'all practice in, and play through your consolation games, man, because that's how you get your rankings still to maintain. And of course, Clay, not just doing a shameless pub, but for next year, as we coming into the preseason, we're gonna do something that YNC has really never done before. We're gonna put on the big granddaddy of them all preseason. So your rankings and finishing through strong at this end of the year is gonna be important to how you place for the following season. So, coaches, I wish y'all luck, man. But hey, DJ Al, slide us to that 8U vibe.
Ooh, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Jonah,
sir. Clay, I'm gonna
that's
read it from
another
the
8
top.
teams, Jonah. Another 8
Man,
teams.
another 8 teams of straight action. You talking about defending national champion. Coach Blue does it better than anybody at this particular age group. Bessemer Tigers out of Alabama, defending national champs. Clay, what can I say about Gorilla Mob? Besides a tough team, one of the best teams out of Texas this year on any age group. Gorilla Mob coming down here to try to snatch the championship out of the jaws of the Tigers' hands. If any team can do it, I really feel good about this Gorilla Mob team. Twin City Outlaws trying to establish the brand for Twin City. This is a team that's going to be new to this. This is going to be a team that's trying to feel their way out. Can they survive a 3-game gauntlet? And here go a team that's done it before, Clay. They know what it is to be a
Yep.
champion. They know what it is to
Yep.
play late into a game. They know what it is to play their best football in championship time. RDU, man. And that's what I tell you. Just as long as you have Bessemer Tigers and RDU in the same bracket, it's bananas every time that they're in the same playoffs or same championships. New kids on the block. I really like how spicy, so icy it's been playing lately. They're going to come and bring a lot of different elements to the football, man. So look for them. And
That boy
listen,
floating.
you already know. And now this is a team that feel they haven't gotten the hype. They haven't gotten the credit. You know what I'm saying? They feeling like, man, they just been considered to be outcasts. But instead of outcasts, they outlaws, Orlando Outlaws, representing Florida. So expect them to make some noise. And Duval, listen, I'm ready to see a Duval Jag get into a championship game. They've had a lot of teams in specific brackets over the years, Clay. I want to see Jags get in the championship game on the big stage. Will this be the age group? And then, okay, you wrap it up with one of the most toughest defense in youth football, Lauderhill Lake Vikings at the 8 and under, man. This is a bracket, and again, Clay, if it was a Clayton Guillory Tuesday morning matchup, two teams that you see, they got to get it in. They got to get it in off one end. Everybody, the whole complex just get to watch one game. Which game would that be? What matchup would it be?
So I'm going to tell you the matchup that I feel like brings out the most grudge, will bring out the biggest crowd, will have people saying, hey, to hell with these other games. This is the game right here. And the entire park, the entire nation will be focused on this 8U game, especially if it's a first round matchup. Dog Pound versus RDU.
Woo!
Man, that
There's a
thing
lot
will
of
set the
bad blood
YNC on
between them
fire
two.
day one.
Yeah. It's a lot of bad blood between them two. I'll never forget a couple years ago, I watched them play it in preseason, man. It was a dog fight. It was like 2-0. It was just a dog fight, man. Naughty was on the sideline. Mouth was all dry. He couldn't drink no Gatorade. And they walked away with the win that game, man. And it was like a low-scoring game, 2-0, if I can recall it right. And, RDU ended up coming back that year and winning it all. So, man, I got to tell you, that would be an amazing matchup. And then I would just say, man, I would love to see Bessemer Tigers against the Dog Pound again, too. I would love to see that matchup. So this is like the SEC of all this 8U is just tough defenses, man. It's just a lot of smash mouth football going here. And then look, how long have we been waiting for this Bessemer Tiger versus Real Deal matchup, man? How long we've been waiting for that? Couldn't get them in the same
Listen,
city.
bro, we talked
So
about that. We talked about that in Carolina. They shook on it. Then we couldn't get both teams down to New Orleans for the Halloween massacre. So if we're being honest, right? And don't get me wrong, with these 8 teams, this could slice up a whole bunch of different type of ways. But if we're being honest, if you get that Bessemer and RDU matchup, you're talking about a matchup that not maybe, definitely has been long overdue.
ooh,
But
man.
AG, man, let's keep this thing sliding. Let's roll all over to 9U, and let's take a look at another 18 bracket in the 9U. Now, the little brothers decided not to show up, right? But the big brothers say they still coming to stand on business representing Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's the SED Wolverines out of Texas.
Yes, sir.
CBE Sawboys. Now, CBE, here's what the coach told me. And I could pull it in my text message and show it to y'all. He said, man, we just won our state championship. We clicking on all cylinders. We are playing better than ever right now. We are coming to the YNC to upset Voodoo. This is exactly
Yeah.
what he said in his text message. All I said is, hey, show me, coach. Show me. So CBE Sawboys is coming down to prove some things. Then you've got Bessemer Tigers. Big Bessemer, that is. Again, we've talked about them on 6U, 7U, 8U, 9U. Bessemer is coming deep, and they are here. Lauderdale Lake Vikings, also known as Bugatti. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, Jonah. I want to see Bugatti in action because all I've heard about is that this is the most underrated, slept-on 9U team in the country, that we have had them ranked wrong all year. We done slept on them. Jonah hate them because they from South Florida. Clay, you don't
Dang,
respect them. So
dang. But
Bugatti,
I'm from South Florida.
Bugatti, you got all my attention. I'm going to be on the sideline, Bugatti. Show me what you're really working with. Then, of course, you got three-time back-to-back to biggity-back YNC national champions Voodoo going for the fourth time in a row. I mean, there's really you talking about a team that's over 100-0 on their record. I mean, the question is, can anybody dethrone them? Crescent City
Yeah.
Chargers out of Louisiana, like I said, they've been the closest team to Voodoo all year. At halftime at the Halloween Massacre, it was 0-0. By the end of the game, Voodoo had made some adjustments and second half put up 24 points behind they MVP, everything center, my man Palomala, and those hard running quarterbacks and running backs they have, right? Then you've got RDU, Real Deal University. They are back. They are saying, listen, we won Division 2 last year. Voodoo won Division 1. Now it is time for the Voodoo RDU matchup. Hasn't happened yet, and it's going to be very interesting if it goes down at the YNC. And then, of course, you have the family, West Orlando Jaguars, man. They are ready to come and represent. And Jonah, give me your matchup. Is Jonah's way or no way? What's your first round matchup that you want to see?
Man, I want to see Bugatti jump out there and take on Crescent City. I think those two teams kind of similar to each other in the same type of style of football. I want to see Bugatti get their national. And the reason why Bugatti didn't get really the national play, they didn't play too much national preseason. They didn't get too many nationals because their league at that particular time just had them in local matchups. But this team has been involved in nationals before with a different head coach. That head coach has stepped down. They have some new leadership. They have some new players that can really get them over the edge. So they're coming in very optimistic, but will they be able to have the national championship endurance what it takes to play back-to-back-to-back games? And that's what I'm curious to see. I know Lauderdale Lakes, I know Bugatti can line up on any given Saturday and beat any given team, but can they do it 3 times in a row? And the only team that's just really done it consistently is Voodoo. Man, this is such a well-oiled machine, a hurry-up offense. Everything's called in from the sideline. 3 national championships under their belt. They got a lot of things going for them, so they really create the perfect storm with the experience and the continuity that they already have. So, man, I'm super excited. But if my day one matchup, Crescent City, Bugatti. Let's get it in.
Jonah, I'm going to do something we've never done before.
Uh-oh.
I'm telling you right now, the matchup I'm about to pick is the first round matchup.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
I'm listening.
I'm finna go against all reasoning and rhyme, but it's gonna happen.
Everybody tap in. We about to get a first matchup. Hey, we locking in. Tap in.
First matchup right out the gate. Voodoo versus RDU. You heard what I said.
Woo! Atlanta people gonna be mad at you because look,
They'll be
feeling
okay.
that they was gonna have a Georgia championship. They wanted to see that. They wanted to see that in the championship game.
They'll be all right.
Well, listen, man. Before we jump to 10, you man,
hey,
going to
look
break.
at the comments, Jonah. Look at the comments.
That's what I'm gonna let the comments ride out. Hey, Al, take us to break. Give us 2 commercials back to back. We'll be right back. 10U action right here on Football Uncut.
Get ready, it's almost that time of year again. The 2023 Youth National Championship is right around the corner. In December, we're headed to sunny South Florida where the nation's top youth football programs will compete for a chance to be crowned national champions. Expect the return of some of the top teams in the country, including Lambeau's 11U, the Rare Breeds 12U, and ATL Elite Voodoo 9U. These teams are back and ready to dominate. YNC is unlike any other tournament you've ever seen. From jaw-dropping plays, big hits, crazy catches, and more passion than you can even imagine. These boys are guaranteed to put on a show. 2022 is rocking, so you can bet that these kids are going to be hungrier than ever to put their city on the map in 2023.
Oh, man.
Before we built the Youth National Championship,
You couldn't win a league agnostic national championship in the sport. So he set out to build that.
If you're the man in your city and you go to the YNC, you gotta realize that you're just the man in your city. Like, everybody's the man in their city, and you're gonna have to prove it down here at the YNC.
These two teams are playing each other, and there's $150,000 cash bet in the stand for the win.
When's that time? It is that time to trust in him.
We've built something that is truly special and gives kids the opportunity to go and play at the next level, get the kind of exposure that we want them to get, give a framework that is professional with a high level of integrity for families and parents and kids to come and play, at the same time keeping it as real as it can be.
Let's go! Get on board!
We don't give a fuck. We gonna win. It don't matter. We win. We run this shit. Y'all understand? Let's go. You run through his motherfucking ass. You hit him in the head and you run.
Bring him number one team in the nation. Yeah! You look good! You play good!
Every Power 5 program in the country probably has a kid that has come through the YNC umbrella, either on their roster or they're on their recruiting board.
Hey, bro, we know nobody can fuck with us, bro. I love y'all, bro.
If you don't win at the YNC, there is no way you can say you're the best in the country, period.
When we step on the motherfucking field, we busting heads, we ask questions later. There is no tomorrow for us.
And I believe I put together the 35 baddest motherfuckers in South Florida. And now we're on the big stage.
They get tall track, but then when they see this, they don't know.
Hey, your phone,
It is
hey, you on
listen.
mute right now. Okay, I'm listening.
Hey, I'm reading these
Oh, I know you
comments
got
right
death
now,
threats in
man.
that. From the commercial breaks, I know you got death threats already.
Hey, the shit is hilarious, man. But listen. I'm just messing with y'all. Y'all know I wouldn't put no two teams from the same state together right off
Man,
the
you
rip.
should have let
But
the
I
road
sure
all the
wanted
way
to see
down
how
there
y'all
on
was
that
gonna
road.
react.
Hey, man.
Hey, Jonah, was you reading the comments, bruh?
Was I? I was hoping y'all was enjoying. Look, so we got the cameras crew. We're gonna make a new commercial this year. We gonna search out for about 10 dope teams. So y'all come swagged out, bring y'all best uniforms, bring y'all best look. Just how you saw the commercial there, you know, we always try to produce something big and better next year because it's about the babies. We get out y'all way and let the babies do their thing. Again, besides all the stuff that these kids gonna win, Clay, besides shopping spree at Dick's Sporting Goods, besides getting chains and this and all that, we pull out a full production crew, man. We don't spend no expenses. So when you know you come to YNC, I'm going to tell you this. The most popular 9 teams every year, Clay, before you jump on that, the most popular 9 teams in youth football is always the YNC champs. Oh, I know you already got that. Hey, Clay, we ain't coming down. If you got us coming out the gate, we
Hey,
ain't even coming.
no. I just had a coach text me. He said, I hate your mustache for that.
Wow. So yeah, man. So we excited about it. So look, we ain't gonna waste no time. Hey, Al, hit us up with that 10U, man. What we looking like? Boom.
Hey, Jonah.
Let's go, Clay. Rip it off. Go ahead. Let's talk to me.
Hold on now. Hold on. We got the whole thing on there? That's only 7. We should have 8 on 10U. We missing a team.
That's one of them
Make sure.
early morning cognac mornings for you, Clay.
Was it? I can't believe that. Hold on.
You trying to squeeze the screen?
Oh,
There
there it
you
is.
go.
Okay. I was gonna say. Hey, I was gonna say, man, I know
Man,
we
why you
had
gonna do me
8
dog
teams
like
on
that, man? You know, Clay can't remember all his mornings, man. You had him trying to figure out what did I
Hey,
do that morning?
hey,
Was that Don?
real
Who
talk, Jonah.
you?
I was questioning myself. I said, I know I proofread this a couple times this morning. All right, AG, that was a good one. AG. All right, so here we go, man. On 10U,
Yeah.
right? Starting off with the guys representing the Midwest to the fullest. Ali Elite out
Yes,
of
sir.
Kentucky. And I'm not
Yes,
gonna lie to
sir.
you, Jonah. This is a team that I want to see in person because I hadn't really seen them in person. I really started paying attention to them after they knocked off DEA at the event in Oklahoma. So
Correct.
to watch, I mean, I'm sorry, in Arkansas, at the event in Arkansas. So it'll be interesting to continue to watch them this year. Gainesville United again. This is a team that people doubted last year. They came to the YNC and represented. You're defending YNC national champions, #1 team in the country. That is the Georgia Fly Eagles Fly. They will be enjoying their shopping spree while everybody else is certifying as well. Air Academy, team that went undefeated on the West Coast, a team that a lot of people say don't deserve to be part of the YNC, a team that's been putting up 40 to 50 points on people, and they say they coming, and they coming. Montgomery Gators, one of the strongest teams out of the strongest organizations in the Alabama area. And then, of course, you've got Rare City, another team that is impregnated with championship YNC DNA, right? Treasure Coast Spartans, these are the guys that said, hey, listen, the other guys want to run to an easier tournament. We want all the smoke. They stepped up to the plate and they said they want to play the best, and they know to play the best, you have to play at the YNC. And then, of course, West Orlando Jaguars, the Division II YNC national champions. Now they say this is their year to challenge for Division I. They just won a very, very close game in their championship matchup versus Duval Jaguars, and now that they have that squared away, they are focused on the YNC. Jonah, talk to me about your day one dream matchup.
Well, one thing I haven't talked about, and I'm gonna just go ahead since we in this particular age group, I'm gonna speak my mind, fam. You know, and you mentioned about Treasure Coast Spartans stepping up to the plate because someone chooses to go anywhere. And listen, as a coach and as an organization, man, you take your babies where it fits you best. You know, YNC may not be for you. You know, you may just want to win a game just to win a game. You ain't gonna get that over here. There's no free passes at the YNC. You're going to have to play for it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say this. Everybody has a right to take their teams. But when you say you coming and you don't stand on business, oh yeah, we coming. We there. Oh, we gonna get our bike back. Oh, and then you act like something's wrong when they're like, oh, y'all not coming. Oh yeah, why y'all asking if we come? Man, you ain't standing on business. But that's okay. The football gods, they always have a way, Clay, the sun to shine. Open that sunshine. You know, the beautiful thing about, I love the 70s, Clay, when they used to have the little poetry reads. I look back some of them old Shaft movies where the people be talking about, man, the sun shines. Well, the sun shines on the YNC football fields, my friend. And if you ain't playing on them YNC football fields, that sun may not shine on you. So go win your championship. Run, Raven, run. Run, Flower, run. Grab your championship where you may feel it free. But at the end of the day, we all know if you're going to be a 10U national champion, you got to go through these big dogs here. And it is what it is. But I want to shout out all these teams, including Treasure Coast Spartans, man, for standing on business, doing what y'all say y'all going to do. We're going to support y'all. And again, when our babies go ahead and win their national championships, we're going to go into the corporate deals, into the corporate worlds, and negotiate those deals for you so y'all can go on shopping spree, so y'all can be chunked out. Because it's bigger than just giving y'all a trophy and calling y'all a YNC champ. Y'all should feel like something. It should mean something. It should represent something. So, yeah, let all these other teams look back, because at the end of the day, we just going to keep growing it. And at the end of the day, Clay, these parents are going to start looking at these coaches like, are you really making the best decisions for our team? Or are you in your feelings about something else outside of football? That's what I want to
So
know this
here's
time.
the narrative. Here's
Yeah,
the narrative that a lot of people are
talk
trying
to
to
me.
spin, Jonah. Right? Here's the narrative that a lot of people are trying to spin. And
I'm listening to you.
this is not no shot at the Ravens or anyone else. I'm just going to speak facts for a moment, right? The narrative people are trying to spin is that youth football is for development, and that development has nothing to do with what national championship you go to. Development has nothing to do with what level of national competition you play against. It's all about how the kids are progressing throughout their young careers, right? So here's what I say to that. I call bullshit on that, right? And I'm going to tell you why I call bullshit on that. Because if you are on the team let's just say you own a team with the 30 best players in your city. Your son is going to get so much more development and he's going to get so much more sharper practicing every day against the best competition in the city than he would go and play somewhere else where he's the superior athlete. Now, the second part of that is, how do you think kids get battle tested? What's the young man? What's the young man? Gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name right now. But what's the young man that is the number one quarterback in the country for his classification in Atlanta? That was on.
Juju,
Al B.
Juju,
Shore's dream team. Juju, little Juju.
Juju.
You
Yeah.
now, do you think Juju would be able to handle the pressure? Juju be able to make the big time plays in the big time games, right? That he does right now if he hadn't been sharpened over the years playing the toughest competition around the country. See, that's what you guys don't understand, man. Only true athletes understand that. Only guys that have been on the field, right, and have had that pressure on his back and have made the big time catch or the big time throw or won the big time championship understand that. See, you guys that have only played JV when you was in high school, you'll never understand that. You'll never understand that. You'll continue to make excuses. You see what I'm saying? If you want your kids to truly develop, challenge them. You'll never You'll never go wrong by challenging your kid, and you'll be surprised at what they might show you. That's what the YC embodies.
They saying, why you calling that kid I'll be sure? Because he light skinned?
No. I'm called Muffin. I call Muffin at Al B. Shore, the coach.
You trying to
You
call
know I
Julian
always
Al
call
B.
him Al
Sure?
B. Shore.
Nah,
I wasn't
listen.
calling Juju Al B.
Julian is
Shore. I was calling Muffin.
I enjoyed watching the kid grow up, man. I watched him play on Atlanta Ducks, and from Atlanta Ducks, man, he grew up and played on Welcome All Panthers, and he just grew up to be something special, man. Julian is one of the top prospects coming out and just has crazy numbers. But you just watching iron sharpen irons as these kids develop, and it's no different here. And they never ran from the smoke, and that's my only concern because despite where that team is going, they really have the potential to be a special team. And but it's just so many mixed messages in there. It just seems a little messy to me. It's just my opinion about it. I think you should, at the end of the day, play football where you feel you're gonna get the best competition. And I'll leave it at that, man. So I just had my take on it. I appreciate those coaches standing on business. And here's what will clear up next year too, Clay. And this is not anything. This is gonna have to do with a lot of coaches that may be tuned in right now, who begs us and shows us so much stats, how they outperformed other teams and why they should be ranked here. Man, we get inboxes and emails and paragraphs and videos to paint the picture to get an invitation. And then we get an invitation, and then, a week out, they'll tell us, well, coach, we can't make it. Listen, you won't get them invitations anymore. If you don't flat out earn it, hear what I'm telling you. If you don't flat out earn it, every coach that has played with YNC for the last couple years, that bridge is considered scorched. If you don't flat out go 80-0 and beat teams 100-0, we just don't want to risk letting other teams who really want to participate and be a part of this and really want to get down, and we holding this spot, and you telling us we coming and we locked in and we stand on business. It ain't happening next year. And I'm just keeping it real, Clay, because we got to stand on business at the end of the day. You feel me? So that's where we
doubt.
at. DJ Al, can I see 11U? There we go. Look, man, I'm sounding like a broken record. This team or this particular organization is putting a lot of teams in the mix. Okay? Bessemer Tigers coming in at the 11 and under. Look for them to play tough defense. Look for them to play smash mouth football, Alabama type of football. Here's one of the teams that's favored to be in the national championship. If they played like how they've done in the preseason all the way to now, I can believe it. This is not a team that I can feel that I don't know outside of Lambeau. I don't know on this other entire list if there's a team that can knock off Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. I don't know if they have the tools. I don't know if they have the personnel. I don't know if they have the coaching ability. Coach Maul and what he does with this Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes team is a very special team, very balanced. They can run, they can throw. Lambeau and this team really mirrors each other. And if I had to call it, if those two teams ended up being a national championship, the winner of that game is going to be the team who has the ball last, Clay, if it's going to be like any time of the, like the matchup they had last time. Now, Atlanta Elite, two different type of Atlanta Elite teams, Clay. You got an Atlanta Elite team that comes out there and plays Lambeau very close, and you got another Atlanta Elite team that lays down in front of ABA. I don't know what Coach Brad is going to bring to the table in down here. They got to travel. They got to get on the plane. They got to acclimate to the South Florida weather. When you're a team that isn't consistent, all these are variables in your play. You know, the travel, you know what I'm saying? Central DeKalb Jaguars. You probably don't know them by that name. That's their government name. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying Clayton Guillory. You know what I'm saying? We know Clay. The niggas who be saying Clayton Guillory, who the hell is that? Central DeKalb Jaguars is their government name, known as Lamb Freaking Bowl. What can we say about this team, man? You can knock them down. You can say what you want to say to them. They'll have some close games. They'll have some games that they blow teams out 62-0. They'll have a team that they'll win 12-6. And whenever that Central DeKalb or Lambeau wins 12-6, they feel like the whole world falling down. Oh, Lambeau falling off. Or them niggas. Listen, they take everybody best shot week in and week out. You know what I'm saying? Them kids got other things going on besides football. Quarterback could have an argument with his old boy. He ain't really stressed, but they winning. They win. Who can say they knocked off Lambeau? Okay, you had a close game with him. Okay, you got blown out, but you ain't beat them. So until Lambeau's beat, they're the definite champ, and that's what I can say. Now, Rare Breeds, man, another team. Which one's going to be hot? Which one's going to be cold? But I like it that they're in there. Great Elite, start off a little shaky this year. Come in, right? We all know Great Elite on a good day can beat any of these teams on the list. And then Renegade Colts Elite. Of course, I already tell you how I feel about Bull. I feel Bull as an individual player is one of the best players in the 11U age bracket. Quarterback, when he's hot, he's hot. When the receivers are hot for Renegade Colts, they are hot. The thing is, they have to be able to play defense to win a championship. And I know it sounds cliche. Defense wins championships. I get it. In Renegade Colts case, they can score with anybody on this whole list, Clay. They can score for a lot of Hurricanes. Definitely. They can score with Lambeau. They can score with any. They can put up 40 points on anybody. But can they stop somebody from scoring 40 points? That's going to be the big decision on this team in 11U. But our matchup, Clay, you name it. It's a Clay championship now. Hey, the whole stadium going to stop and watch two teams play.
So we forgot to do our matchup on 10U, so we'll come back to that later. But right now we're talking about 11U. So out of this 17 bracket, right? Because again, we had a last minute drop. It is what it is. I call it the Lambeau effect, right? But out of this 17 bracket, the matchup I really want to see out the gate, Jonah, Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes at Renegade Coach United. It's just something about that matchup I really want to see because, again, I haven't seen the Hurricanes in person this year, but I've watched that. I've watched that game that they had with Lambeau several times, and it's a very intriguing game for me, right?
Yeah,
because they did so well. But the more and more I watch RCU, I think those two will match up great with each other and just shut the whole park down. Because remember, Jonah, we always talk about this. Every year, someone emerges from the wine, the national star that people didn't know about. I mean, if we go through it, we can talk about it, whether if we're talking about Kane Archer, whether if we're talking about Callis, or we talking about Sekou, I mean, every year somebody emerges. Could Bull be that kid this year? That when the YNC is over with, everybody in the country is talking about him.
Well, Clay, I already gave you my opinion about Bull. I've coached football. I tell you where you can get the best out of him. Yeah, now Bull's a very valuable player, but I think for him to be most effective, you got to pick and choose where you don't run him till he's dead. Well, I mean, he's playing linebacker. He's chasing these running backs around from Fort Lauderdale, Lambeau. Then he's trying to go ahead and score 70-yard touchdowns. You bring a fresh Bull in offensively, he can score on every possession he touches. But the problem with Bull starts falling off is when you see his hands on his hip, he's bent over, because he ain't come off the field. He didn't play special teams. He didn't play defense. He played offense. He brought water out for the kids. He brought the visor out for the coaches. He drove to the game. It's just too much. But if this kid ever has the opportunity just to be a running back, it's problems. I don't think anybody can match him up. Now, who do I think is the most physical team in this competition right here? Unequivocally, Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes defense will knock your helmet in pieces every play. They are the hardest hitting defense in 11U. What's the most physical offense I think is in here? I think it's Lambeau. When Coach Howard puts his team in that overload and he just does, when Coach Howard just wants yard and he ain't want to play with you no more, he overloads whatever he wants to. He goes behind his guard, he goes behind his tight end, and they're going to get 5 or 6 yards with Melo when they want to. So don't get it twisted. And then here's the best thing about Lambeau. We've watched them evolutionize offensively as they're implementing a dangerous passing game, man. When I tell you dangerous, you got to load up on the run. Your safety got to come in the box if you have any hopes to contain Melo. But then that means those one-on-one matchups that Coach Howard has now exposed teams with, throwing them skinny posts, has really made them hard to stop. So this 11U bracket is crazy. I would have not liked to have seen the team that just dropped out 3 days ago before the national championship. We won't put no names out there, but man, we got to stand on business as coaches, man, because it's not just us. We're not going to, and here's another thing. Let's clear this up. We're not filling brackets, y'all. We're meaning that this close to YNC, we rolling who we rolling with. We're not doing it just because we want to sell some tickets. No, we standing on our business that we want the best teams. So, yeah, it ain't no happen. Team dropped out. That's who we rolling with. These are our brackets. These are the teams that will be awarded the national championships. But if you're in Clay and I in our committee position, and this becomes a habit, man, where we can't depend on you standing on business, it's going to be kind of weird for you moving forward with us, as we grow this, because next year, Clay and I have already, with the committee and sat down with our biggest our partner, which is Battle, and said, listen, we want it bigger and better. We don't want Division II. We want to always say the best play here and keep our qualities, but we do want a bigger bracket. So with us expanding the bracket means more teams, but we got to move forward with those teams that's going to be committed on standing on their word. And I'm going to tell you what, and I know when you got a quarterback, Clay, that, he gets hurt before nationals, team football, man, rosters are made of 30, 25, 26. I'm a Florida State alum, man. I love Florida State. Man, I hate that Jordan Travis went down. I wish he had
That
the
was
luxury
crazy.
to tell the ACC championship, hey, man, look, bro, Jordan hurt right now, bro. We good on that championship. Just give us the trophy real quick. Nah, bro. So don't let those kids down, because the other 30 kids, they don't have an opportunity to know what it would be to stand up in the paint like Florida State have to do with their hurt quarter. He's out for the year. Florida State still got to show up and play Louisville. Don't shit on your 25 other kids, man, because one kid down. Don't do it. And I'm not picking on you, coach. I mean, but man, if I'm the linebackers coach, I'm the linebackers dead, or I'm the wide receivers dead, and I done bought into you as a coach all year. I done paid my registration. I done traveled
All
nationally.
that.
I'm bought in. All right, we going to Florida? Okay, let's do this. Nah, my son hurt at quarterback. We ain't going. What? So it's bigger than you, coach. This is football. This is family. Come down here, win, lose, or draw, give your kids the experience. If we really believe in this developmental football, it's going to get us ready for the next level. Y'all niggas pick and choose that phase when y'all want it. My opinion.
Most definitely, man. I agree with you 100%. All right, so now, AG, let's roll on into this 12U, Hoss.
Oh, the empty bracket.
This is the bracket everybody wanted to see. Everybody wanted to see what the rare breed effect looks like. What I see here
Right.
are 6 teams and 5 of these 6 teams all say, man, we are stepping up to the rare breed challenge. As you see at the top of the list, you got Air Academy. Quiet as kept, man. Reggie and his boys feel very confident that they are going to be able to upset rare breeds in this whole thing. Borton Beach Bulldogs just pulled off one of the biggest wins probably in the country this whole fall football season. And when after a win like that, you are definitely feeling confident to challenge rare breed. Of course, we've got the 2-time defending YNC champs, the Georgia Rare Breeds. I mean, They firing on all cylinders. At this point, I think majority of the nation feels like this is their championship to not even lose because they feel like even with their backups, they can't lose. Tampa Bay Jaguars. This is a team that I have heard a lot about from Florida. Even Darren Green called me about this team and told me about how talented they were when we sent them the invite. So listen, if Darren reaching out, and me and Darren don't always see eye to eye, but if Darren reaching out, man, they got to be legit, man. So I can't wait to see them up close and in person. WCFL Dolphins, you're talking about a team that has gone undefeated in their season, won their respective league championship. When I gave them the call, they said, Clay, listen, we understand Rare Breeds are supposed to be the best 12U team ever assembled. We are ready for the challenge. And then, of course, TME, Trey Manley, he always ready to get into the shits with DeMarcus Flanagan and the Rare Breed. So, Jonah, these 6 teams right here, right? Talk to me. What is the first round matchup that you think would really get the crowd going?
Tampa Bay Jags and Boynton Beach. Off rip.
Ooh.
Off rip. Off rip.
I was thinking the same thing.
And listen, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody wants to see is Air undefeated because of the quality of players that they played, or are they undefeated because they've added a lot. We watched Air in person in Texas. Do they have a lot? I would love to see them play Air and Boynton off rip. That'll give me a good feel of where Air is at this year, competitive wise. You know what I'm saying? So again, this what happens, and I tell it to everybody. It's a very rare situation that this age group is in. Rare Breeds have literally traveled the country, played everybody national champion, dismantled them, beat them, and it's going to be hard for anybody who wants to invest in playing, going down there, flying down there for a week, paying for hotel rooms, paying for registration to get a 40-piece. So shout out to these teams that said, man, we good with all that. We ain't really putting that in front of us. We're going to line it up because there's a lot of teams that will just go play elsewhere that already took an L to this team. And I don't care what you say, Clay. I get it. I can't act like I'm above it. The average cost of getting the team down to national is going to be around 20 racks. And to know you don't have a shot because you already, it's like going against Mike Tyson. Mitch Green winning to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson hit him so hard, man, his mama felt it, right? He ain't want no parts of no rematch. And so that's what those other teams, they don't want no parts of the rematch. So shout out to Air, Boynton, Tampa, Dolphins, Trey, man. They like, man, we good. Win, lose, or draw, we finna play some football. So definitely shout out to them 5 teams.
13U. Now, Jonah, this one right here, our biggest bracket yet. Now, originally we were thinking we was going to have 10 teams. We're going to have to shrink it in, AG, shrink it in. Originally, we thought we was going to have 10 teams.
Don't make Clay go crazy now. Clay
man.
Shrink
it in, AG. Resize it. There we go, AG. All right. Now, we thought we was going to have 10 teams. Of course, as we talked about a little bit earlier, Tampa Irish starting quarterback got hurt, so they decided that they were going to pass on this opportunity. So you see that we are going to go with a 9-team bracket. Now, as you can see, we even have the team on here that everybody had to vote in to make this thing a 9-team bracket, right? But everybody said they wanted to play the best. They said they wanted it, from top to bottom. Without a doubt, 13U is the most competitive bracket known to man. You hear me, Jonah? Known to man.
I hear you.
So let's go ahead and get this thing started. So, of course, you've got the OC Buckeyes, right? The number 2 13U team out of California. You've got the OG Ducks, who is the number 1 13U team out of California. And I don't know if you guys watched it live, but their live against each other was by far one of the best 13U games I've seen all year. The People's Champ, who everybody voted in, TMT, Lauderdale Lake Vikings. And for those of you who don't understand why we had to vote them in, TMT does not have an illegal roster. All of their players are legit. The problem is they didn't have their roster turned in time, right? All of the coaches on 13U said, listen, let's vote them in. Let's vote them in. We got together. Everybody said yes. So long as everybody was cool with it, boom, they in with their league roster team. They are coming to try to challenge for a YNC national championship. West Orlando Jaguars, the number 1 13U team in the country, right? So here's the benefit of what West Orlando gets. They get to see two teams that they could possibly play each other before they get to them. So that's what being the number one team in the country gets you. Rare Raiders out of Georgia. This is a team that we added last minute, but this is a team that is well deserving because right now in that 13U division, man, nothing is safe. Real Deal University, they also go by the name of the Real Deal Dream Chasers, right? This is a team at one point that was the number one team in the country, and then they got knocked off, and they've been fighting their way back to the top, and see
Literally
where they
fighting their
stand.
way back
So
to the top.
literally fighting their way. You're right about that. Maryland Heat, known as the Mob, right? Another team that was one of the top teams in the country. They lost early in the playoffs in their league. And, hey, now they want to come to the YNC and say, man, we need to redeem ourselves and get our bite back. St. Louis Elite. This is a team that came and knocked Real Deal off their throne when they was at the top, right? And then the very next week or maybe a couple weeks later faced West Orlando and was brought back down to earth. So they say they definitely want to come get their lick back. And then the Southwest Junior Marlins. Southwest Junior Marlins is 13U out of Texas, number one 13U out of Texas, right? They have when you guys see the size of their offensive line, they got one offensive lineman, Jonah. This is an eighth grader that is 6'5", 300 pounds. You understand? He's 6'5", 300 pounds, man. And they were the team that beat DEA in the preseason, and that pretty much launched their campaign to their invite to the YNC as they handle their business going undefeated throughout the regular season. So the question, Jonah, is you got 9 teams right here, and there's a lot of these teams have played each other, a lot of bad blood,
Crazy.
right? What is the matchup that you think is really going to get this thing jumping
I,
on
I
day
got
one?
I got a couple, man. I mean, this is football heaven. If you like youth football and you're a fan of football, you can just go to where we're gonna have these games bracketed and watch 13U matchups that whole first day, man, and you won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
I mean, I really would love, and I said it in their group already. I would love to see the OG Ducks take on Southwest Marlins out of Texas off rip. They didn't feel confident about the Marlins coming in here and deserving the spot. Well, I feel personally like if you feel that they don't deserve the spot, then go ahead and take it from them. Go ahead and usher them out day one. So I would love to see OG Ducks take on Southwest Junior Marlins out of Texas off rip. Then I would love to see TMT have a rematch with the West Orlando Jags off rip. A rematch right now.
The trilogy?
Both of their times they claim.
The
Well,
trilogy.
because they feel they number one. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
no matter
Yeah.
who you feel you number one, okay, let's solve it right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I just would think. But we know that everybody would love to see that in a potential national championship game. But those are two matchups I would love to see off rip. And then of course, Real Deal. Have they gotten back to their fundamental football? They didn't look so hot against St. Louis Elite. They weren't tackling to the football. They weren't tackling the quarterback. They just seemed like they were off pace. Which Real Deal will come back out there? So, and that's another matchup I would love to see. Right now, these teams are 1-1. They have tie games. TMT, Real Deal, they both have no win. You know what I'm saying? So, well, excuse me, I correct that. TMT beat them early, and then we had a tie, right? I would love TMT and Real Deal to get it out the way. So, man, there's so many matchups here in this 13U. I love it. You can't go wrong. No matter how it lands out, day one going to be bananas, man. So we'll definitely have cameras on these fields because I can tell you people are going to want to tune in and see these highlights of these teams. And congratulations, we were able to get the best teams in the country all on one football field without a shadow of doubt, Clay. I'm 100% convinced that these are the top teams in the country without exception to anything else on 13U.
And if I'm taking a look at this, and I already told you earlier, man, I think OG Ducks versus TMT would be a great matchup out the gate on day one, right? But as you break this thing down, I mean, St. Louis Elite versus Southwest Junior Marlins, I think would be a great matchup, right? The Mob versus West Orlando Jaguars out the gate would be a great matchup, right? And I mean, if we being honest, and I know this wouldn't happen, but even OC Buckeyes and OG Ducks again would be a great matchup, man. So this 13U, man, it's going to be a movie from top to bottom. Any 13U game you catch, probably even after day one in the consolation part of the tournament, the games are still going to be bonkers. So tune in to that 13U,
Yeah.
man,
And,
Generation Next and
and
AT
you
on the
know, and you
live.
know what would be super sexy, Clay? East Coast versus West Coast. I would love to see OG Ducks versus TMT. Day one.
Yeah,
West
yeah.
Coast, East Coast, Tupac versus Trick Daddy. You feel me?
Oh,
Right
man.
off
Hey,
rip.
Jonah. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
dope right there. Jonah, go and wrap up that 14U, man. Let's let these people get some
Let's
sleep,
do it,
man.
man. 14U, the big boys wrap it up for tonight. As the next time you will see Clay and I, it will be at the Youth National Championship. Al, don't spare one more second. Let these people get ready to go ahead and enjoy the rest of their Thursday night. 14U, let's take off.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Al got caught up at the
He might
at
be
the
in the restroom.
13U
No, there you go.
pressure point. Oh, bam, bam, bam. And he gonna hit me with the bold print like a nigga 80 years old. I could see it all. I'm good, bro. Man, listen, a team that we feel should be number one, and they've been dominating, man. You really don't usually see coming out of Ohio lately from the youth football perspective, a dominant team such as Ghent Elite. They will be making the appearance at the YNC and want to defend that number one ranking. Ghent Elite out of Ohio, a lot of athletes. And, of course, anybody who ever knew the career of Ted Ginn, who is the creator of this park, the establishment, he was one of the most dynamic, fast wide receivers, played for the Miami Dolphins. We're very familiar with him down here. Maryland Heat, what can we say about Coach Bird and these boys, man? This is a team that has a pedigree to play national championship football every time they play on the football field. Coach Les, to me, is one of the top coaches in youth football, happens to be leading the reins of the OC Buckeyes. He will be bringing these boys down to South Florida. Look for this. This is as close as you're going to see as a high school team, the way they practice, the way they execute. OC Buckeyes is definitely coming from the West Coast to represent. Trey, man, elite, coming out of here representing, getting ready to get this rose gold around their neck from Florida. Delray out of the AYFL, a lot of speed, a lot of dynamic. Let's look for this team to try to put up a lot of points and use their speed. And the Harlem Wolves out of Florida, man, a dominant defensive team that just wants to win in simple fashion. 8-0, 6-0. Will they have enough defensive power to stop a high-scoring team like Ghent Elite or OC Buckeyes? We'll find out in a couple days at the Youth National Championship. So that rounds out our 6U to 14U, Clay. As we get ready to go to Dick's Sporting Goods or Shopping Springs, we get ready for Media Day. We get ready for day one kickoff, the walk down to fame. We'll have DJs. We'll have all type of vendors out at the Vibe. We'll be live streaming on multiple football fields. So y'all tune in right here on Generation X and AG Sports. Man, just doing it big the entire weekend. And yes, those keys to the city are already here. They have been FedExed here. Look, they're ready for these boys to take it to the next level. Man, weigh in. I call it weigh-ins because we used to have weighted football down here, Clay. But check-ins, man, I'm excited to see all these teams in person. We'll be on site greeting y'all boys, greeting y'all parents as y'all come down here. We'll have a battle tent set up for all new 2024 releases. So as your teams get checked in, bring your checkbook, man. Go ahead, bring your credit card. If y'all want to get the newest apparel, battle is going to be going down as we're doing the check-ins there. But, man, we will not spare any expenses for these babies as we get ready to crown the 2023 National Championships. Again, that Thursday night, y'all parents, we'll announce where we're going to have that YNC Parents Mixer. That's going to be done by DJ Clayton Guillory. He'll be heading that up. The Yak will be on spot. But, man, we just go ahead and we want to say thank y'all for following us all this year as it led up to this particular week. This is what everybody's practiced for. This is what everybody did the off-season training for. Coaches, man, y'all get y'all A games down. This y'all got to win 3 games, and y'all could collect your goods. The spoils go to the victor.
And remember, guys, man, travel safe. Make sure you get there safely. I want to see everybody's smiling face. I want to have us all, enjoy these games, enjoy these kids' talent. I'm gonna be there Saturday morning. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. I go into not answering my phone mode at noon tomorrow. So if you can't get me on the phone by noon tomorrow, try Jonah. Maybe you want to hit up Cassandra and Zorts if you got some Zorts issues. Because any conversations I'm having with anybody after 12 noon Central Time tomorrow will be face-to-face when it's dealing with the YNC, man. But I'm excited, man. Like we always say, hey, man, you can rock with anybody in the world, but you're rocking with us. And we know the best play here, so you're rocking with the best, man. Come on through. Let's do it.
Man, I won't say same time, same place next week, because same time next week, we're going to be on the football fields this Thursday. We're going to be coming in from the hotel. Thursday, we'll have a clear cut of who will be going to the national champ. This time next week, you probably will see us next week because, as we wrapping those games up, Clay, we'll be having our championship bracket. We'll know who those championship brackets are. But on that Friday, we'll be going live for our media day, brought to you by AG Sports. We'll be miking up those particular teams. And, man, we have something special for you guys on the broadcast this year for the championship games. I won't go ahead and share it just yet, but like I said, AG Sports is always doing something innovative, something crazy. The kids will absolutely feel like they are playing on an NFL production this week. Something special coming out. So all you got to do is make it to the championship game, and you could be part of it. If you don't make it to the championship game, well, you can watch it, but you want to be a part of it, all you got to do is make it to the championship games, and it's going to be amazing. So, man, Clay, anything you want to say to the good people before we go ahead and shoot deuces before the YNC?
See y'all in South Florida, man. That's all I got for you. Let's roll. Let's go with it.
Hey, I got the gates open for you. I'm going to let y'all in my city. 305-954. Here we go. YNC Championship. We'll check y'all out on behalf of Football Uncut. I'm Jonah Willett, my partner Clayton Guillory, and Alfred Goodlow in the background. We'll see y'all next week. It's YNC, baby, or nothing.